Hi, I'm Kimberly Montgomery, and I'm a quantum healing hypnosis practitioner, and I specialize in connecting my clients with their loved ones in spirit. And I'm so excited to share this session recap with you because of the conversation the client and I had after her session was over. She was able to describe with great detail and clarity her experience as pure energy at a higher dimensional level, and very clearly describes how important the human experience is to the greater good of all and the universe and source as a whole, and the type of learning that the higher dimensional energies get from sending someone down here to earth to experience the emotions and the events and the interactions that humans have. So you're really going to enjoy it. Stay tuned. It's a great wild ride. And you're also going to hear about the experience the client had connecting with her father and her sister, who are in spirit. It's quite profound. Enjoy. Whew.
Holy cow.
A little bit of water. Wow.
That was really interesting. Mm.
Tell me more.
I get the
I,
feeling.
I know you saw so much more than you were able to uh,
Right, right, right.
articulate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're in the middle of it, it's hard to.
Mm-hmm.
My whole feeling from all of that is those energies from where I was, taking those orbs. It's like they don't have a variety of um, it's like us. We see a flower. Oh my God, that's beautiful. It's like to me, they'd see a flower and they would just, it's a flower, you know, even though they feel, I don't even know if it's love. It's a respect, I guess, kind of, but they don't really feel the range of emotion and understanding that we as humans do. And so I kept trying to put um, human um, visions and parts and everything on that. And I was trying not to do that because that's not why I was there. I was there to see them in their form and in their understanding. So every time I was doing that, I would stop myself and go back to try to understand what I was seeing. So their level of functioning is way different than ours. So I I really believe, or I think, I'm not sure if I believe it yet, that it's like a group of souls, um, like they live over here and they understand um, that they're alive because they have consciousness of each other.
Okay.
Um, but I think that they want to have a deeper understanding as to the whole range of emotion in a human thinking body.
Okay.
for their advancement of their life,
Mm-hmm.
so they can um, view things differently. And I don't even really know. For some reason, they need to understand those emotions.
Okay, so are we back to that there's so much contrast here on Earth that that contrast then provides the bouncing off point so that we can really see what we don't want, see what we do want, that whole thing? Is it the range that you're
I think
noticing?
I think for some reason it's the frequency of the energetics of the emotion. So it's like the energetics of rage,
Mm-hmm.
that carries a frequency.
Mm-hmm.
The energetics of love carries a frequency, which is different than rage. But
Mm-hmm.
they're looking, I believe, I get the feeling that they're looking for those frequencies
Okay.
and to understand those frequencies, because they can't, because they, instead of all of them coming down to earth.
So, did
I
you
think
get the sense that you were sent to Earth in order to bring back that
mhm,
knowledge? And
those
when you
frequencies.
when you come back or came back because there's no time.
hmm
So when you returned, having experienced those frequencies, did you bring them with you?
I believe I did, but I'm not sure what. Um, I think that I'm still in the process of learning and understanding what I need to learn and understand to bring it back.
Okay, so
I
would you
believe
say you're kind of a scout in a way?
that's exactly what I was thinking. Right.
Wow.
And I don't think that, like I said, what they really want to do with all of these, I think, is for them to have more of a range of understanding. So for them to have, you can read about compassion, but until you feel it, that's what I think they're looking for.
So then so by you going as a scout, are you then informing the entire group? In other words,
I
when you
believe
come
so.
back
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
information, they're able to take that in and know it like you know it?
hmm And somehow they can, they've developed a way to store those emotions so they don't carry them with them all the time,
Okay.
because they're heavy to carry all the time.
Mhm.
So if so if they're looking to have compassion, it's like they can go to, and I'm making this up, but this just sounds right, they can go to the cabinet and grab out compassion. Oh, and then understand what that is, instead of going through the pain, or instead of going through the actual physicality of understanding that knowledge. So it's like grief. They want to know what grief feels like. Oh, it's over here. Oh, oh, that's grief. And I don't know why they I don't know what the end result is. I don't know why. I don't think that it's they have ulterior motives or an agenda. I believe that it's for their kind of like a cheater's guide to the universe. Instead of them all coming down here and doing it, it's like I've come, and I don't think that I'm the only one, because
Mhm.
I can't experience and become a master of all the experiences that we experience here.
Okay, so when you connect into that part of you right now,
Hmm.
that that is the essence of that energy form that came here with this intention. What what do you feel about your intention on being here on Earth? Like, is it a kind of a loving older brother or a curious stranger or
Curious stranger.
oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm beginning to understand how to detach, how not to be so attached to those emotions where they consume me.
Okay. I hear what
Does
you're
that
saying.
make does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Like it's more of an experience of a chess game or a video game where you're watching the action, but it
Yeah.
doesn't define you.
It's kind of like, oh, that's what that is. Okay. You
Mhm.
know, it's not where I become so consumed in the story of what's happening in my physical life, you know?
Right.
It's more like, oh, okay. So I'm feeling in how do I put this? Instead of having it, like I just said, consume me, where I become lost in those emotions. It's more like, oh, that's what that is.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
And that's something that has been happening for me, I would say, probably the last year, making that slow shift into that. It's like that's my goal right there.
Hmm.
Not that I won't have emotion,
Hmm.
because I am human, I mean, just like I had earlier with my dad,
Hmm.
but I don't, um, I learn from that. I feel it. I understand it. I know what it is, and I detach from that pain and go
Yeah.
more, yes, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So the next question is, was it your perception when you were there with the energy bodies that the experience in as an incarnated physical being on earth was unique, or in other words, it did, from your perspective, there was earth a very unique environment?
From their perspective, yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I got the feeling that it was pretty much a one of a kind
Oh,
type place.
okay.
Um, and I don't know if that's ego, but that was my feeling,
Okay. Yeah.
where you can fully immerse yourself in those emotions.
Yeah. Boy, that's good stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And that helps. That helps me. Um, like I said, because I could see, you know, I was trying to put human images on where I was at.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is a house. Oh, no, or there has to be a house here,
Mm-hmm.
or there has to be a sun, or there has to be, you have to have form, or I mean, because I live down here, so I see everything in this form, So for it to be really so obscure as it just being a ball of light was interesting. But what I really um, enjoyed was when I went inside. It was like I went inside one of the orbs, and then you had said for me to infuse with that. And I could feel like I still had that small point of consciousness that was me, but I could feel myself expanding this way. And like I was on the inside of that light, but I still had that single point of reference, you know, that
Hmm.
never left, you
Yeah.
know. But when I completely infused with that, I felt very buoyant and I felt very, body was so tingly and light. I mean, like I was just floating. It was just, and then I think you asked for me to um, put into words what they were communicating with me. And that was not, um, it wasn't easy because I
Mhm.
know that there was so many um, barriers of communication that had to go through to get to my little point of consciousness.
Right.
That makes sense?
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so last questions I have for you. Can you define for me what happened for you when your father and your sister came in?
Well, it was interesting because I could feel myself drop down right into my living room that I grew up in. I was there.
Hmm.
And I saw my dad and I saw my grandpa, my dad's dad, and my Uncle Don. My Uncle Don passed away like 3 years ago. So it was all three of them in the living room. And I'm like, I mean, I was there,
Hmm.
you know, and it wasn't really where um, they didn't really pay any attention to me until you had said from my dad to step forward. It was like my grandpa looked my way and it was like, hey, how's it going? I mean, not like it was any big deal that I was there. Um, what it felt like with my dad, it felt um, lovely. It felt um, lots of energy, lots of joy. It felt, I could feel him kissing me. I could just, it's like, stop it. It was like goosebumps all over my body, you
Hmm.
know. I felt that I was in the presence of a very um, joyful, um, at ease with life and at ease in where he's at, a very light-hearted, why you
Hmm.
taking life so damn seriously, kind of
Hmm.
a person, you know. Um, it felt very, very sweet, you know. It felt like he just loved everybody, you know, like he didn't, he was just joyous.
Hmm.
It felt I could feel it coming in, just coming all the way in. And
Yeah.
it just felt like my whole body was going, bing, 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 like just lighten up. That's what that felt like.
Hmm.
Hmm. My sister was different.
Hmm.
She was,
I felt her here. I mean, I felt both of them,
oh,
but boy, she was big.
yes. And she felt more like, boom, I'm here, like that. Um, and that's how her personality was in life. I don't really remember too much about my dad, you know. I don't have memory of my dad. I have memory of my dad,
Mhm.
but I have memory of my sister. And she was a force in life and physicality. You know, she
Mhm.
was a bigger girl. Um, I wouldn't say like fat, but she was solid, you know,
Mhm.
in life. And she didn't put up with anything. She would tell you just like it is, and that's it, you know.
Mhm.
Um, so when she came in, it was like I'm here, and then it was more, it was in and boom, all of me, you
Oh.
know. Whereas my dad took his time, kind of played a little bit.
Mhm.
Judy was like, no, I'm there,
Mhm.
you know. Yeah. And in um our relationship has always been um not the easiest because I handle things differently than what she did in
Mhm.
life. And so our personalities, we didn't have an understanding of each other. And I still felt the differences in our personalities when she was in me, but it
Mhm.
wasn't a like a me against you. It was me understanding that this really is just who she is, you
Mhm.
know, that she has always been like this, you know, doesn't mean that there's not love there. It's just her approach is different than
Mhm.
what my dad's is, you know,
Yeah.
than what mine was. So I understood that. But
Mhm.
yeah, it was completely different. It was, she was there.
Yeah. It's
there
so
was
cool.
no, there
Yeah.
was no diddling about it. It was it.
Mhm.
And it was funny because I think you asked um, what image or something like that to know that I connected with her. And all I saw was this bull in this china shop just knocking stuff down and just, you know, get him away and just, you know,
Mhm.
trashing the place. That's what I saw. And I thought, okay, yep, that's Judy. Yeah, it was
Yeah, they give
cute.
us these images that are so on point.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, you know, if I would have seen a delicate flower, I would have went, no,
Yeah. Who are you kidding?
that's not her. You know, right? Right. So yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that recap as much as I did. It was really one of the most educational and informative experiences to find out how the human experience is so very vital and important to the greater good and the expansion of all that is. I just loved it. It was a wonderful treat to be a part of it. If you'd like to find out more about connecting with your higher self and other forms of you around the universe or loved ones in spirit, go ahead and stop by the web at kimberlymontgomery.co. You'll find out more there. I'd love to work with you. Take care. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you click the like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future upcoming sessions. Until next time, take care. I'll see you. Bye now.